The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation's seats remained empty for the 7th consecutive session. Ambassador Zixthor of the Krellian Empire adjusted his crystalline sensory organs, unable to comprehend the absence. For 3 centuries, humanity had been the Council's most vocal members, their passionate debates and unconventional solutions both irritating and oddly effective. Perhaps they are simply delayed, offered Council member Vrath, though even his 4 vocal cords betrayed uncertainty. Ana Rodriguez stood at the observation window of Earth's orbital station, watching the blue marble below with eyes that had seen too much. As humanity's last official liaison to the Council, she had been the one to deliver the final message, a simple, formal withdrawal notice that had taken mere seconds to transmit but centuries of patience to compose. They still don't understand, do they? Liu Chen approached from behind, his footsteps echoing in the nearly empty diplomatic wing. Most staff had already departed, reassigned to what humanity now called independent ventures. Anna shook her head slowly. They think we're posturing, that we'll come back begging once the Xerian trade routes collapse or when the Hive breaks another treaty. Will we? No. Her voice carried absolute certainty. We're done playing their game. It had started small, humanities. Proposals dismissed as too radical, their warnings about the Hive expansion labeled paranoid, their pleas for intervention. In the Outer Rim massacres filed away as not Council priority. For decades, humans had absorbed the condescension, the casual dismissals, the way other species spoke about Earth as if it were a precocious child, rather than an equal member. The breaking point had come during the Valorian crisis. An entire colony world, home to 3 million souls, had sent desperate pleas for aid as plague ravaged their settlements. Earth had immediately mobilized medical ships and supplies. The Council had voted to study the situation for 6 months while they debated jurisdiction and resource allocation. By the time their study concluded, 2 million Valorians were dead. Earth's medical teams had saved the rest, working without official sanction, without Council support. The vote of censure against humanity for acting without proper authorization had passed unanimously. That night, in a closed session with Earth's leadership, Anna had watched Leo present the withdrawal proposal. The silence that followed had been deafening, broken only by the Prime Minister's single word. When? Now, 3 months later, the Galactic Council was beginning to realize what humanity's absence truly meant. The Xerion trade routes, which humanity had patrolled for decades, fell to pirates within weeks. 17 convoys vanished. The Xerions had never paid for the protection, had actually complained about human ships cluttering their space. Now they sent desperate requests for Earth's fleet to return. The requests went unanswered. The Hive, sensing weakness, pushed deeper into contested territories. They had always tested boundaries, and humanity had always been the one to push back, to bloody their fleets to make expansion costly. The other Council races had superior technology, they insisted, but never seemed to have the will to use it. Without human forces holding the line, the Hive advanced 3 sectors in a month. They're calling an emergency session, Leo informed Anna, checking his datapad, requesting human attendance. They've used the word urgent 12 times in the communication. Anna allowed herself a bitter smile. Let me guess, they want us to deal with the Hive situation, and the piracy, and apparently, the Krell-Vostian trade dispute has escalated to armed conflict. They want human mediators. We mediated the last 4 disputes between those two. They ignored every recommendation. The truth was, humanity had become the Council's unpaid workforce. While other species postured and politicked, humans had been the ones actually doing the work, patrolling space lanes, responding to emergencies, mediating conflicts, providing disaster relief. Earth's economy had strained under the burden, their fleet stretched thin, their people dying in conflicts that the Council officially claimed were resolved diplomatically. And through it all, humanity had received nothing but criticism, too aggressive, too emotional, too willing to break protocol in favor of actually saving lives. Leo pulled up a holographic display, showing the cascading failures across Council space. It's worse than we projected. The Valorian system just declared independence. 3 more colonies are considering it. The economic models show complete trade network collapse within 18 months. That's not our problem anymore, Anna said. though something in her chest tightened at the thought of the chaos spreading across the galaxy. Isn't it? We share this galaxy with them. Anna turned to face him fully. Leo, we tried. For 3 centuries we tried. We bled for them, worked for them, believed in the ideal of the Council. And they treated us like servants at best, nuisances at worst. At some point you have to let people face the consequences of their choices. On the Council floor, panic was setting in. Ambassador Zixthor reviewed the reports with growing horror. Without human intervention, everything was falling apart. The systems humanity had quietly maintained, the crises they had quietly prevented, the endless work they had quietly performed, all of it now visible in its absence. We must convince them to return, declared Council Member Vrath. Offer them concessions. A seat on the Security Council. Trade benefits. They already had a seat on the Council, another member pointed out. We just never listened to them. The chamber erupted in arguments, blame being assigned in every direction except where it belonged. Anna watched the Council feeds from Earth, seeing the desperation creeping into their communications. Part of her felt vindicated. Part of her felt only sadness for what could have been. They'll learn, she said quietly, or they won't. Either way, humanity has our own path now. Leo nodded, looking out at the stars. The independent colonies are already asking to join our alliance. Real partnership this time. Equal voices. Then that's where we focus. We build something better. Silently, humanity had withdrawn. And in the silence, the Council was finally hearing everything humans had been trying to tell them for 300 years. It was perhaps too late for them to listen. But for humanity, it was exactly the right time to move forward.